So here we go. It's that time, man. It's that special time where we recognize the amazing people that allow us to do what we do. And I want to kick it off with the gold members, Mr. Brendan Myers, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Ryan Turford, Coach Timbo, Sheldon Benedict, Joel Brooks, Dawn Becker. Then we have the platinum producers, Nasty and Tammy Boots. Love you guys to death. Diamond executive producer, Robbie Bobby Miller, Lee Navarro, Corey Hicks, Jonathan Brown. Now it's time for the show.
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 161 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, how are you, my friend? I don't care. I'm going to keep talking here. It's morning time. We're back to Sunday morning. So just everybody, just relax because you're in for a ride. Bobby and I are back with our morning coffees. We're not survival coffeeing here on Friday night anymore. We're excited coffee on Sunday morning. I got to send you a nice message. I woke up and the first thing I did was text message my good friend, my lover, little Bobby over there.
Wait. Little Bobby's down below. So just, did you message
That's what I was messaging. That's what I was messaging. Hello? Who is this?
Oh my God. Yeah, it feels good.
Feels like old times, man.
Yeah, it does. It's so much better to be doing it, in the morning because, man, at night I just feel like
It's
my
your
thoughts
last
aren't
ditch
there.
effort.
Yeah, man. It's just like I'm doing it. I'm going through the motions. I'm just like, really? And today I'm just like,
It's a good way to start a day.
Yeah, it's
This is nice.
This is good. This is good stuff. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Late night. Like that's the only downfall for it. I always seem to be lately staying. You don't know this because you haven't really recorded with me on Sunday mornings, but every time Toby gets me, I'm just like, Toby, I'm tired.
What time do you record with him? Is it earlier than now?
Actually, it's a little bit later.
Oh, really? So you're still up early now? Okay.
Yeah,
thank
but
you.
that's fine. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't like wasting my day.
That's
this
true.
Forces me to get up early, do some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can go over, do what I got to do. Like the greatest thing now, Sean, is I get to see you in all your glory.
That's nice.
I get this gorgeous looking face.
Aw, yeah, you don't
Like,
have to worry about
before it was
Toby
all
anymore.
like muddied up and stuff. And it's like, does he have something on his
Oh,
face?
because my camera.
Yeah.
I got a new camera for my birthday, Bobby, and I showed you a picture, and everybody should check it out on the Discord. I was having a little bit of fun because now I can reflect myself. I can have two cameras. Maybe I could have done this before, and there's actually a way to reflect a camera within OBS, but I couldn't figure it out. So I have two cameras. So I've got me. I was inspired by that video with the cowboys in the mountains, and he's just singing like yeah. He's doing that thing. So I wanted that kind of setup. So I've been thinking a lot about my streaming setup, and I had a little bit of fun last night. So it's just step one, my friend. It's just step one.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So I'm excited for today, and
Me
I'm
too.
excited to do all this stuff. And we should be probably jumping into something right now. So let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs.
Geek outs. Oh yes, Bobby. Right now I haven't had this cup of coffee, this big Donkey Kong mug, in forever. I realized I was making coffee. Like I haven't even made coffee in a bit because I've just been going to McDonald's so much lately.
Yeah.
I looked at my bank statement. You know how embarrassing it is
That
to
is.
look at your bank statement and see McDonald's show up as often as
You go like, why are funds so tight around the house?
Holy
anymore?
crap.
And then you look at your McDonald's statement. It's like $2, $3, $4, $5. And it's like, oh.
Here's the stupidest thing. Like, and I worry about the dumbest thing. We probably all have a version of this somewhere where like, man, I probably shouldn't spend so much on like video games or whatever it is. We all have that thing. Like maybe we should like pull back a little bit. And then you look at this stupid thing that's like, how much do you spend on coffee or how much do you go to Wawa or whatever it is. Like we all have this thing that we spend a couple bucks on every day. You add it up, man. You could have bought all 4 Switch lights, Bobby. Not really a geek out, but I'm playing Bloodstained.
That's funny because when I was listening to Switch Island, and Benji brought that up. He's like, I'm listening to If We Ran Nintendo last week, and Bobby buying all 4 Switches. He's like,
I know.
What the?
I know,
I only
man.
bought 2, Benji. I only bought 2.
Well, at the time we recorded that a couple weeks ago. At the time you were all over.
They made
it,
a
man.
mistake. They didn't put them out. If they would have put them pre-orders up within the first 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have had all 4.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me time to think it through.
Well, I always talk about that. That's
Yeah.
that's Nintendo's problem quite often, actually.
Yeah.
They need to just like they get you excited and just like give me like take my money and make it
Yeah.
non-refundable somehow.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. I don't
Yeah,
want
what were
that.
you saying? You were playing something.
Bloodstained. I'm
Yes.
playing. It's a good game, but it's
Is
still yeah. Well, I'm playing it on Xbox. But it's available on Switch. But I hear it doesn't run very well. But guess what?
Yeah.
It doesn't run very well on Xbox either, Bobby. I don't know why nobody's talking about that.
Really?
It kind of chugs a little bit. There's a scene where I kind of go outside and you're going up like a spiral around this tower, and it's not running very well over there. But that Metroidvania style of game, man, it gets its hooks in me like nothing else. And I kind of avoid it, I think, because I know that it does that, and I don't know why. Like I'm just like I don't need it. It's almost like predictable. Like you know what you're in for. You know you're gonna get a power up and you're gonna go back and whatever else. Like it seems like because you know it. It's not exciting, but it is exciting. It makes me feel smart. Yeah. So I'm liking it, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so shout outs. First shout out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for your geek out, like, but you don't do it.
I don't do it. My geek outs aren't happening this week. But regardless. All right. The first shout out I want to give is to Mr. LL Cool J. Because he is the creator of Don't Call It a Comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
We've taken it, we've elevated it. Right now, we're in the process. Something's going to be happening very shortly.
Can we announce it?
No, not yet.
I'm booked.
Not yet. I don't care. We're not doing anything.
I was so excited.
Don't Call It a Comeback.
All right.
This is Don't Call It a Comeback number 3. Get ready. We're going to tease it like we do.
4.
No, this is.
All right.
I don't know what number it is. But
all right.
Anyway,
Well, I've told some people.
Okay, so thank you, LL, because you've made this so much fun for me to do this thing.
Jeez.
And this week we'll probably. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe next month. Who knows? But
it's got to be sooner. We got to get people there.
We'll do it soon. We're going to do it soon. We're going to do it. Right. We'll do it. You know what? Let's just do it.
Yes. I did it.
Let's not do it.
Oh, no. Really?
No, you know what? Let's do it.
I don't know what to do now. You just take it away, man. Whatever you're doing, you just do it. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to. You seem on the fence.
All right, so I want to give a shout out to Lord Cognito.
Yes.
Of the Iron Lords podcast.
He
was a guest on Nintendo Talk, special edition. Yesterday we recorded, but last Sunday I recorded with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to leave because I promised you that I'd play games with you for your birthday. But Thank you. I hated leaving. Aww. These guys are fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God, dude. If you get a chance, go check these guys out, man. They are doing the Lord's work, as they always say. And today is the Lord's Day, which we're recording on Sunday, which means they are live on Sundays over on YouTube. And I'm going to actually watch them today because they are so much fun. They're actually local to me, New York, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I was talking to Cognito, and I'm like, dude, I got to come up. We got to hang out. Like, we got to do content together and stuff. Cool. They're like, dude, let's make it happen. Talking about going to PAX East this year together. Like, not together, but, like, I know that there's a talk about a bunch of people going to PAX East, but meeting up with them and hanging out and all that stuff. So I'm hyped.
They might cancel you without notice, though. PAX might just cancel you straight up. We don't want to go there? We don't go there.
We talked about that a little bit, too. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel...
I don't even want to brought it up. It's a tough subject.
I don't even talk about it. I don't even talk about it because it's.
Apparently, I'm going to be talking about it with Bronson Fiore because I'm going to be on his podcast. I don't even know what it's called, but I'll be letting you guys know about that. But he let me know the topics. We're recording tomorrow night, so he was on We the Gamercast. I'm sorry.
You're talking about that?
We're going to talk about that's the number one topic. So I know I'm like I'm thinking about how to even approach it, but. I've been walking over it in my head a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. But that's cool, man. You're hanging out with those guys. They're awesome dudes.
They're a great group of guys, man.
Very cool.
And it's funny because I was saying to Cognito yesterday. I said, man, I said, here I am. You asked me to come on the show, and I'm thinking when the camera turns on, I'm thinking there's gonna be some little Harry Potter geek talking to me.
Oh yeah, no.
about chalices and stuff. And no, they're just 4 amazing guys.
Yeah,
and I'm
man.
like, oh, wow, these are guys I could be hanging out. But he told me this story, Sean. You got to listen to Nintendo Talk. It's going to actually air in replace of the one with Toby and I. So it'll air tomorrow,
cool.
Right? But you got to listen to this show. He talks about back when they were kids, because all 4 of them are childhood friends.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about how they played No Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
And the one dude went out and bought the $200 world title.
Oh, no
And
way. The belt?
they would have matches. Yeah, they would have
Yes.
matches on like Saturdays, and whoever won was a champion got to carry the belt for a
Heck
week.
yes. That's
I'm like,
awesome.
this is amazing, dude.
Hmm.
God, listen, the greatest conversation ever, dude.
I
You'll
love
love
it.
it. So, go ahead. What do you got for a
I got
shout out?
one real quick because it's this is a new time for us, and I wasn't sure that we were really going to be able to pull it off.
Mhm.
Mornings on Sunday, the kiddos are going to wake up any moment now if they're not already awake, and that means that Chelsea is taking yet another day mornings on her own. So I got to give a shout out to my wife. I feel like she's helping make this show better, Bobby,
Absolutely.
and just kind of allowing us to have that extra Friday night. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's no better shout out than I could give Chelsea shout out every single week, but she's
Yeah.
really she's really allowing this to happen, and
Yeah.
she really wants us to do great things. Like
She does.
she doesn't just say it. Like when she does things like this, it's like holy crap, man! Like it's not easy just to be. She's in the bed. She's probably been up all night with Ellie. Lincoln's gonna be up any second, running in, probably asking where the hell I am. And so she's dealing with that. This might be a one-time thing, actually, as I'm talking. There's all through. She might only do this 1 week, but shout out to Chelsea. Man, I'm pretty lucky to.
So let me piggyback off that then, because there's something else that Chelsea's allowing us to do, and don't call it a comeback.
Let's do it.
We are going to be doing Extra Life this year,
Mm-hmm.
and not only are we doing Extra Life, because you would think like Extra Life is Sean is in Canada, Bobby's in New Jersey. Not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We are teaming up with, I feel, the Extra Life of Extra Life.
Yeah, man, the OG.
This crew, these guys are amazing. Lee Navarro, Ray Osorio, like this group, Phoenix Overdrive has been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even know what Extra Life was until I realized they were doing it 5 years ago, and
They
were
created
doing
their
it longer than that.
podcast. They created a podcast to promote their
Excellent.
Extra Life stuff.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that's the craziest thing. They've got their amazing setup. The very first time that I met Lee on the internet, he asked me, just like, come on over. Like,
Yeah.
we're over by Buffalo. I'm certain that that's the way he described it. And he's like, like, we had just met. We talked for maybe an hour. And he's like,
Yeah.
we do it in November. Like, come on. I'm like, I don't know if I can pull that off. And I was still kind of getting used to the whole, like, friends on the internet kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was, I guess, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now. And finally, it is happening, man. He threw it out there when we started the Patreon. He's like, you know what, man? He just threw it out there again. It would be great if you and Bobby came up. And I'm like, the thing was blown. That's how long we've been thinking about this. Because the Yumi Capri blew up so instantly. I'm like, we might be able to do this. Like, that's the next level stuff that I've always wanted to do with the Patreon. Like, to fund this or that or whatever is great. But legit, like, there's no way I can take money out of, like, Lincoln's school to go fly across the country into another country. Like, this is a Patreon-supported initiative so that we can then go fundraise for the kids, and we can make it a big deal. So I think that there might even be more to this, Bobby. We might even be able to get the whole... Like, there's a lot of you guys over in New York.
We've reached out to... Well, Sean, let me be fair. Sean has reached out to a bunch of people, asking them and inviting them to come as well. We would love to make this something special.
It's going to be a thing.
And make it like we're going to do this each year. We're going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. But the people we've asked, some people do it on their own already. But I would just be like, hey, man, let's just merge it. Like, let's just make this a big thing. And to me, going there and doing this, I've talked to Lee and said I would do it for a couple of years now. And I've never followed through. This year I have to because we've already made commitments and we're starting to do it. So
I booked
we will
my
get
flights.
all the
That's what we've been waiting for.
flights have been booked, and so essentially what I want to say is this: we will getting some information out there very soon. So if you want to support us, if you want to support the team, you'll be able to in your own special way, however you want to do this. But this is something that I feel is pretty spectacular, pretty spectacular. So we'll see how it goes.
And spend a full day playing video games, raising money for those big, beautiful kids. And then, Bobby, if I may, I'm not going home after it's done.
No.
I'm moving in. I'm shacking up. I'm shacking up with the guru.
Yes.
And we're going to be making some content over the next couple of days.
Yeah,
and
man.
Like, last time I was there was a day, maybe. Right? And it was after Red Eye. Like, it was, now I'm saying a couple days, man.
Yeah,
and we're
man.
going to have in person, if we ran Nintendo, We're going to record a
Yes.
whole bunch of content. So, guys, look forward to it. And
We're gonna do some live stuff. We'll be streaming some stuff live and all that. And
I just want to thank everybody at patreon.com/YouMeetCapri and everybody who supports the show in every way that you guys do it, because there's no way this happens without you guys.
yeah, man.
Like, I cannot overstate it. It's not even close. Without you guys, it's not even an idea. But you guys, the idea came up because of the Patreon, and now we can actually do it because of all of your guys' support. You've been with us for so long. So thank you guys so much. The shout out really goes out to you guys for sure.
Yes. So thank you guys. Okay, so Todd Oxtra right now is flipping out. So we'll just jump into some topics. And
I never knew you cared about that.
I don't care.
I know.
Just,
I know you don't.
It's just my segue. It's just it's a nice little way to segue over. I could care less if Todd's screaming and all that. He knows that.
You know, we should move on to Mark Carabin maybe. Maybe Mark Carabin would enjoy it if we went into topics. That's how we'll phrase it a little bit.
Exactly.
You worry about Todd. I'll hand a high five Mark.
Okay. So the first one I want to talk about is, if we ran Nintendo, would we hire anybody to exclusively support / play our games? If so, who would it be? And obviously this is coming off of the whole Ninja thing. And I think Ninja just totally flipped the world on its ear.
No kidding.
By saying, like, I'm going to stream exclusively on Mixer.
Mm-hmm.
The internet explodes. People are losing their minds. And I personally think it's a fantastic move.
So do I.
I think that there's a lot of people that are just crapping all over it, and it's a lot of haters. And here's the thing. I remember
this is a sports move if I ever saw one, man.
Well, it's not even just a sports move. I remember there was a time when Howard Stern.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He was on what they call terrestrial radio, regular radio, and he was massive.
Yep.
And XM was courting him, but wasn't really giving him what he wanted. And then Sirius Satellite Radio, who was getting trounced and just couldn't hang, go in, make this massive deal, and Stern goes, I'm going to Sirius XM, or not Sirius XM, I'm going to Sirius Satellite Radio. Within 6 months, XM goes out of business.
Yep.
Sirius merges with them and takes over all their stuff, and now it's Sirius XM Radio. And when I heard that announcement, that's the first thing I thought was, this is Microsoft going, if we don't do something now, we're not going to be able to turn the ship around. Because I honestly believe that whole platform probably had a year, maybe 2 years left. It occurred status quo. It wasn't really building steam in terms of, yes, for the Xbox community, but outside of Xbox community, nobody really messed with it.
Not in a big way. Like, they didn't have any, like, and the thing about the streaming scene is that it's unfortunate that most people know the big people for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, Ninja's a great player. Yeah. And honestly, I feel like we all have our faults. I think for the most part, he's a good dude. I think he wants good things for the video game industry, and he has a bit of a persona. I mean, I feel like this is an excellent move for Microsoft, and I tend to like Ninja. And they could have gone after, like, there's a lot of other just really nasty personalities in the streaming world, but they went after Ninja, and I think this is great for Microsoft. It's interesting that you say that it was only going to last a couple of years, because I don't know, man. But this moves the needle in a huge way. Oh yeah. They offered free subs, so they introduced how to sub. That's the whole thing about this, and we talk about this on the show a lot. Is giving things to people for free is not just so that it adds value; it gets the behavior set for them. Like when we buy things, when we get our free games on Xbox and on PlayStation, you buy them. They don't just give them to you, so they teach you through that process how to buy digital games, and this is the same over here. Yeah. So very huge move for Mixer. I think there's probably going to be a little bit more, but holy crap, this makes things interesting, Bobby.
And the thing I want to say is there's a lot of people that are Twitch streamers that are going like, oh, well, it doesn't, people feel like Twitch wasn't helping him. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't feel like Twitch does anything to help me stream at all. But there's also people going like, well, Twitch made Ninja. No, they didn't. Got news for you. Yeah. Twitch did nothing for him. He blew up on his own. He spent the time getting there. He busted his butt to get there.
Yeah, did Twitch get Drake on his channel?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. And the truth of the matter is that, like, for me, Ninja brought the spotlight to Twitch in a different way.
I agree.
And having Drake come on and all that stuff, like, it changed the game.
That was a moment.
Ultimately,
It
was a moment.
And they're starting to add up, and that's why I like Ninja. I will say, because I don't want to crap all over Twitch here. This is going to be an exciting week and month and time for Mixer. I've always enjoyed the way that they gamify things for streamers. So they the way that they have like their milestones and achievements, like get to this, like stream this many times in a month or stream for this many hours, like they do things in a way that actually helps you create a schedule, and it helps you create a foundation. So I think they do that well, but and I think the affiliate program is really good. Allows small time streamers to
well, it's not even that, like as a consumer watching your stuff, they kind of pay me to watch, that I could take that money and give to my favorite streamers.
You're saying Mixer does that?
Mixer does it, does it? Like,
because
you buy the emotes or whatever.
Twitch. I was talking about Twitch, but jump in.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. No. But like, Mixer allows you to like buy the emotes, which if you buy the emotes, the money goes to support the creator. But they're basically giving you quasi money to buy the emotes by just sitting there watching.
Yep.
And it's like, this is amazing.
You actually have some streamers who just have like farming streams set up, so they just have it on, and then people can go jump on that stream and then farm points. They just be there in the chat. They have this is the thing about the Ninja thing that cannot be understated. Nobody's talking about Mixer in this way at all. If you know somebody on Mixer, maybe it's in that small community, but this isn't a big way people talking about Mixer. Like even the way that games interact back and forth. You can earn Mixer points in Forza Horizon 4 and then jump back in, like the influence goes back and forth. So this is a big thing. And so I think it's a natural tie-in to Nintendo. Like, what does Nintendo do at this point? I mean, Luke and I are going to talk about all the Xbox implications on the Xbox Drive that launches on Thursday on iTunes and Google Play and Spotify, Bobby, in case you didn't know. But what do you do now if you're Nintendo? You don't have it's a little bit different because you don't have your own streaming platform. So you got to jump on board maybe with Twitch or YouTube or Mixer, perhaps.
I mean, Mixer, why not? I mean, you're sitting here, right, and you're going like, hey, by the way, we're working with Microsoft. Makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's already like this process of they're slowly starting to climb into bed together and work together. So why not take it this step? I do know, just from talking to different influencers, Nintendo over the past couple of years actually started pushing their influencers to stream on Twitch, to get off of YouTube.
Interesting.
And to stream on Twitch. Because I'm not sure why. I just know that in conversations with a couple of streamers, not even streamers, influencers, Nintendo brand ambassadors, the ones that I had spoken to had said that like Nintendo had given them games and said specifically, hey, can you stream this on Twitch?
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like if anything, Nintendo looked at that aspect. But I think that like this is a model of something where you can go to somebody, to a streamer, and go, hey man, we want you to exclusively play our games. Not just games on our system. I want you to just play Nintendo games. Meaning Mario Kart, Zelda, all that stuff. Like any game that's a first party or whatever, or just where Nintendo supplies you with games. You know what I mean? Like where Nintendo says, like, this is the game we want you to play. Like, here's your... Almost like they create the schedule quasi and go like, hey, we want you to play this, and this month. Here's the games. Go. And obviously there have to be money. You'd have to pay somebody to do something like that.
Well, now it's interesting because at first blush, it seemed like the topics were very, very close in terms of Microsoft bought basically Ninja to play for their platform. But it's a little bit different. That he becomes basically an advertisement for a platform. Now we're talking about Nintendo creating almost like a paid advertisement for games. And so how do you differentiate that between like an ambassador or a personality not looking too much like Treehouse? Or maybe you don't care if it looks too much like Treehouse, where
I don't care if it
like
looks like Treehouse. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just
I just want somebody to go like, hey, I'm going to stream. You're going to stream Monday through Friday, 8 hours, 9 hours a week. And this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And you're going to basically, maybe not necessarily stream like these are the games we want you to play. You pick when you play them.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter when, like, we're not going to specifically say like, hey, and you can only show this and this. Full carte blanche. You play the game and you do the thing,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of what we're going to do is create you to become the face of Nintendo in terms of you are going to play these games. You are going to, people are going to come to you to see these games because you're going to have some exclusive stuff as well, some
Yeah.
stuff that nobody has,
Right.
that nobody can get, and I feel like that's huge,
Mm-hmm. Well, and to now I'm starting to think about, like, there's a lot of speculation on the Ninja deal for Microsoft and for Xbox that he cut his teeth in video games with Halo. And that Halo Infinite coming out next year, so that might be part of it as well. So I just want to like even the playing field a little bit, because there's a part of me that kind of reacts to what you're saying is like, that sounds gross. That sounds like you're sort of like buying somebody and then dictating what they're gonna do. But I mean, essentially, that's similar to what is happening, I think, on Mixer in a way. So I just want to kind of make it all even. So now that we're there, I think this is definitely something that Nintendo needs to, at least at the very least, kind of acknowledge that they're a little bit behind the curve when it comes to ambassadorship. And it's always been a very tricky relationship with influencers and whatnot. And so I'm not surprised when you said that they're not really acknowledging YouTube. The relationship with YouTube has been tricky over the years, to say the least. What was the program that they closed down, where you're allowed to or not allowed to post content?
Nintendo Creators Program.
The Creators Program, yeah. So it's a good thing they've gone away from there.
Yeah.
So did you want to name streamers that they would hire? Is that kind of where you wanted to go with this?
I mean, I think the thing is like, when I think, I go like, hey, why not Miss Click, and why not Roger Space and all those? But like,
N64 Josh.
But they don't have the exposure that you're looking for. Like, if you're going to do this, in my mind, you want to do somebody big.
Who's the Nintendo Ninja?
Exactly. Like, who's the guy that everybody looks at and goes like, hey, this person streams a lot of stuff and does do a lot of Nintendo stuff and would be good. And the thing is you got to have someone that's a decent streamer. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of banging up against the wall, because I know that, like, man, someone like Joe After Work would be fantastic.
For sure.
I mean, like, he's perfect when it comes to something like this. That's the type of person I want. I want someone like a Joe After Work, but with name recognition. Mm-hmm. Because if you're going to put the money out there, I mean, maybe it works. Maybe you take a lesser known person and you go like, hey, you're our guy, and go. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, maybe that the relationship together builds and blows up. I mean, dude, like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I think someone of the caliber of a Roger definitely is somebody. But Roger does a lot of anime stuff, so he's not going to want to do an exclusive. I feel he's not going to want to do an exclusive deal strictly with Nintendo on those aspects.
But don't you think, isn't this interesting? And maybe people will jump in the chat and go like, duh, idiots, like, what about this person? But to me, this is a result of that tricky relationship Nintendo has had with influencers and content creators, that there isn't anybody at that level of Ninja. And maybe it's impossible, but I feel like there's a couple that I think are not really great people that come to mind when you think about streaming, that I'm not even going to share their names. Yeah. But you don't have a whole lot of like wholesome people playing Nintendo with a huge audience, which is strange because there's so many Nintendo content creators, but nobody's really elevated to that level, which it boggles my mind. And it's because Nintendo hasn't fostered that relationship to take somebody to that next level, or to allow it to even happen. It's been so hard to even be allowed to play games, or there's been questions about like, what content can I put up there? So it might take a little bit of time here, Bobby, is kind of what I'm realizing. Everybody else is allowed just like free will, just do whatever you want. And that's when you have amazing, it's kind of the American dream. Yeah. It's just, you guys go nuts, the market will decide. And Nintendo's been very controlling in that way. Yeah.
I mean, like, in my mind, do you take people the level of Kind of Funny? Yeah. You know, like, I don't think Kind of Funny is Ninja level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, they're really big, they're massive, but they're a group, and who do you get from, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you look at, and you go like, do you go to a team and go like, hey, we want all of you guys to just strictly stream our stuff and do stuff, and it's definitely tricky. So naming somebody, I think, is more difficult than anything. But I think the idea and the concept is more where I want to get into, and I think that's where I'm on board. Like
I think well, you
that,
mentioned go to get a team. I think build a team. I think that's how you
too.
take this to the next level. So Microsoft has one guy in Ninja, and if there's no way to replace a single person with another single person, then you battle out with a team. So you have like your Nintendo, like you have like a group of people, and it's kind of like a little this starts to think about, or it starts to sound maybe a little bit like wrestling. Like you've got Degeneration X, like you got like these little clubs just kind of like pulling together, and you almost know the types of games that those little groups are going to be playing. Because
maybe in that level, maybe with that, you do take people that are different tier levels. I mean, so ultimately right now, what you're explaining is kind of what Nintendo already does. So brand ambassadors.
With ambassadors,
there's multiple ambassadors, but they kind of just let them do their thing. I would almost bring it in to raise it up a level, to go, okay, you're only going to do our thing. You're only going to do Nintendo stuff. Like you're not.
Yeah, they're hired, because brand ambassadors are not hired people. They're just given a certain status and access to things.
Status, and they're given free stuff.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately, like they're the beta testers per se. They're given the first shot at a bunch of games. When Switch came out, they were all like brought in to test it and demo it, and they were given free Switches. And you know, when the NES Classic came out, they were given the NES Classic.
Yeah, to talk about it with their audiences.
To talk about it and stuff with their audiences. So,
thing is that this gives people something to strive towards as well. Like we're all working towards something, but like sometimes it can be a little less clear. So if you're trying to build an audience, like if my goal is to go work for Nintendo in this way, like that's kind of, it kicks you in the butt a little bit. Like I don't know about you, if that thought kind of comes to mind of like how do you become to the status where you can be hired by Nintendo to do this thing? Like that's kind of an official. It's like a job goal. It's like a career goal kind of thing. That'd be kind of interesting.
It would be interesting. Definitely interesting. And for me, when I think about it, I go, you know, if you did create a small little team, that's when you grab Joe After Work and Miss Click, and you get like a group of people that some are known, some are unknown, and you just form them together and go, okay, here we go. You guys are going to all, maybe you create a Nintendo channel, you know what I mean, on Twitch or Mixer, and it's the Nintendo branded channel. And then these people stream certain times a day.
Yep.
You know, where it's like you become like almost like you're creating a television show per se, or a network where you have like, here's a channel, and you know, Miss Click is going to go from, you know, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. And then you grab someone from maybe a different territory that picks it up from 10 p.m. and goes until like, you know, 2 in the morning, and then you pick someone up from 2 in the morning straight through, you know, and you're basically becoming a 24-hour channel of streamers, you know, that's just basically plugging in and going to work every day, you know. This way you have content 24/7, you know, and it would be kind of interesting, honestly.
Now we're starting to talk about like the CNN of video games, of like
pretty
you
much
have a 24-hour news cycle. Like how do you have
a 24? Because there are no 24-hour channels.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Bobby.
You know, that's
a good point.
Yeah. There is no channel that just you go and that's, you know, it's on every day.
Why don't we do that? We should start up something like that. I mean, we don't have the time zones to really do that, but like that's something that, man, holy crap.
We got Toby in the UK.
I feel like you need one more
Switch Island guys.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe we could cover that. But wouldn't that be interesting?
It would be.
One channel. I mean, we kind of host each other, so there's that aspect.
Yeah, that's not the same.
I know it's not the same. Like just there's always something.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Now I think we landed on something there. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty awesome.
All right, the 24-hour Nintendo. Okay, I'm with you, man. I like it.
So next topic we have is, if we ran Nintendo, what would be the next 5 free games we would give away like Mario Aces? So essentially what's happening is, if I'm not mistaken, you get, if you're a Nintendo Online subscriber, you get Mario Aces free for a particular weekend, and you get to play it as much as you want and do what you want to do, kind of like a demo. Yep. But it's free reign. It's wide open.
Full game.
It's a full game. There's nothing locked out. You go in, you play with all the characters, do everything you want to do. I like this idea. I think it opens it up and allows people to play stuff that they might not typically play.
Big time.
And it allows them to do some stuff.
Because people like free stuff, Bobby.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like this because what I like about this is, you know, in some degree, nobody does this. You know that now there is like you'll get like older games when this is kind of like when you had PlayStation Plus and all that stuff where you would get a game and whatever, but they weren't necessarily giving away bigger games all the time. With a
Well,
lot of indie.
I don't want to. I want to save you the
Yeah.
comments. This is definitely borrowed from Xbox Land for sure. So they have
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
free weekends with Gears and NBA 2K and a whole bunch of stuff. So definitely borrowed, but that means it's a good idea. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
and to your point, typically it's games that like might need a little extra boost, might need a little extra help. And
Mhm.
I think it's actually easier for the developers to do this than to carve out a demo.
Yeah.
It's just like they've
Oh,
already
yeah,
got the
absolutely.
game, so just
Yeah.
give them the game. So you kind of have a bit of a balance of if it's going to be free for a weekend, you can't give them things like even Bloodstained would not be a good.
No.
You'd finish that game definitely within a week. You could probably complete it 100% within a weekend. So you got to
You
pick a
want a
game
game.
that's
You want a
big
game that kind of goes. It's big.
or
There's a lot of
multiplayer.
content to it, multiplayer stuff like that. You want it to focus because you want people to play online. And it ropes them in to go like, oh my god, I'm addicted to this game. I want more of it. You know.
It also sells Nintendo Switch Online if you don't have it
Yes.
already, and you're like, well, man, I've been looking for some value here. The game's on NES, whatever it's called, not very good. But if you get free games, then for a weekend, you get like that's the thing about these subscriptions is that you could almost not buy games at some point. And so for $20 a year, or whatever it is, then it certainly adds value and it helps to sell that, and it will help keep people around too.
Absolutely.
Because September's coming up next month, people are going to be renewing or potentially deciding not to renew. But if they add value like this, if we ran Nintendo, we'd be keeping people around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first one, no brainer to me, is Splatoon 2.
Okay.
I think that you there's still a corner of the market that doesn't play that game, and I think
Small
if you give it to
corner.
them, yeah, it's not
Everybody's
small,
got that game.
but still, like you give people a free weekend where they go in, they play, because it also does two things. I think if you get people that don't have that game, it drums up the talk about it, right? And then people go, oh man, you know what? I'm going to jump back in to play with my friends that are playing for the first time. And now you do two things. You get people addicted again, but you also get people coming in
New
for the
people.
first time. And now you get this whole resurgence of Splatoon 2, especially, and I wouldn't do it right away. I'd wait a couple months to do it. Because in my mind, I'm thinking with the final Splatfest happening, you're going to want a way to kick it back up again in a couple months. And I feel like that's the way to kick it back up again.
And that's what, like, I kind of did a bit of that math in my mind as well. At first, when you said Splatoon 2, I'm like, that game has sold so well. It doesn't need the boost. And then it's kind of over in a way. But you're right. Like, it's going to need this afterlife kind of thing through Splatfest. So how better to bring people along than you can have people, naturally, as soon as it's available, people are going to start, everybody's going to be there with their own Splatfest. So if that's a free weekend for other people to join in as well, that's probably the hottest. Like if you're going to strike when the iron is hot, it's probably the best time to do it.
Yeah.
So do we know when that's happened? When Create Your Own Splatfest?
It's live now. It's live.
Oh,
now.
you can do it right now.
The new update happened.
Oh, why
you can
haven't
do
we
it
done
now.
it yet? We got to do this. All right. Well, it's free now. If we're on Nintendo, Splatoon 2 is free now. This weekend. Next weekend is happening.
Well, I think it's too new right now. If it was me, I would wait a couple months when the game, you see the game, because they can look at how many concurrent users they have. So if they start to see it start to dip a little bit, I feel like you give the free weekend to kind of give it a little bump.
Okay.
So I'm thinking in a couple of months it'll be right where it needs to be, where you get that bump, because they're not updating anymore.
I almost think
Which
about
I think
January. After Christmas, a whole bunch of new people get their Switches. They probably get a whole bunch of other games. Probably Splatoon might not even be on the radar. So then bring that one back.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
I don't feel like, well, I was gonna say Mario Kart, but I don't know where that fall. I mean, I guess so. Why not? Right? You know what I mean?
Did you see the attach rate on Mario Kart? It was higher than 50%. It's hovering around 50%.
Yeah,
That is
that's
insane.
a game that like it's yeah. You really need it to be. You know.
Well, speaking of Splatoon, I feel like Splatoon really killed and took the legs out of a certain game called Arms, Bobby.
You're right. That
Arms
one needs bad.
Arms needs a little respect because Arms is it's a game that is better than it has any right to be, particularly in the way that it's handling multiplayer and the lobby. Everybody talks about the lobby system. I almost just want people to be reminded, that that's as good as they can be, and that Nintendo can actually do Twitch-based multiplayer stuff.
Yes.
You can have a good connection with people.
Yes.
ARMS would be an absolutely perfect, because you know what, man? It's similar to how we were originally sold on it.
Yeah.
With the test punch or whatever it was called.
Yep. Yeah, we ate it up. We were
Totally.
like so into it.
I don't think I played it much more. I don't think in any sitting I played it more than that weekend. So ARMS was the first thing that came to mind for me. That needs a free weekend, and it's just kind of as simple as that. I was thinking about packing some stuff onto it as well, but just let people give ARMS a shot.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on it. And you know, for me, I think about a game like ARMS that like I feel like it fell into a time where it just got bad timing. You know, it just here it is. It comes out, and then a month later, Splatoon 2 hits, and it killed that game.
It was a sacrificial lamb in so many ways.
It was a way,
because they needed something there. There's no doubt in my mind that was a time slot where they needed something. It was a crucial time. They needed to bridge Zelda to Splatoon 2. But yeah, it's just too bad that actually like a good quality game did it. That could have been 1-2 Switch, really.
Could have been.
They should have just thrown that out to the fire.
No kidding.
I got a couple more, but did you have anything?
Yeah, I'm looking through the list of games that I have on my Switch
at
the moment, and just seeing anything jumps out and goes like, this is absolutely has to be.
I got a game, I got a multiplayer game here with ARMS and with Splatoon. I want to jump to something that is just enormous, that you probably couldn't really finish in a weekend, at least as far as I know. And this is a little bit selfish for me, because I want to play Xenoblade 2. And I think, like, the Switch is becoming a bit of an RPG machine, my friend.
Yes.
It's kind of a beast right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing Fire Emblem, but that's another geek out of mine. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing that game for the next 6 years, dude. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Loving that. But Xenoblade, I think, is a game that is tricky to get into. It's not something... It doesn't look welcoming, to be honest with you. It doesn't... There's nothing really... Unless you're just balls in on anime stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe... But, like, it seems intimidating. And so I've always looked for, like, maybe a demo or something like that, or a way to jump in and then have my progress carry over is the ultimate promise for any sort of, like, demo situation.
Yeah.
So Xenoblade 2 is the next one for me that I would really like to see get a free weekend.
I'm wondering if we should do stuff where it's... Because I have a game that I think definitely needs more eyes on it because it's so... good. But it's not a first party, but it includes first party characters, and I'm wondering about Mario Rabbids.
Oh yeah, man,
because it does have an online aspect to it too. I thought where you could play against people on those levels, right? Or is that I think that might be couch co-op mode, but still that's a game that, like, to me, fantastic game, really is fantastic, where I think it needs more eyes, because I think there's going to be a sequel that hits for that game at some point. And I don't see why there wouldn't be. That game sold pretty well. I mean, it's not, it's not a Mario Kart 8 type thing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't sell that, but I think it did 1 million easily, maybe a couple million easily. But I think that's a game that, like, needs some love. That can boost their sales, get some more people buying it and such.
I agree.
They've done some sales for it and dropped the price on it quite a bit. Why not give it another life? Give it away for the weekend, let people go in and play it, drop its hooks in them where they go and they buy. The question I would have in a situation like this is the one company that does, in my opinion, that does demos the best is Square Enix.
Yeah.
Square Enix is a thing where you go in and you start trying a demo, and then whatever you are, where you're at, just carries over once you buy the game.
Octopath was like that.
Well, that's how Dragon Quest Builders 2 was. They just announced they're going to have a Dragon Quest 11. Dragon Quest 11 is going to have a demo that, like, wherever you end in Dragon Quest 11, it's going to carry over. Maybe go, this is perfect for me. I've been on the fence with Dragon Quest 11. Really want to try it. I'm going to get the demo. I'm going to start playing it and see what happens. So I feel like a game like
that's where the magic can happen, is the third party stuff. Like, I've got a list of first party stuff here, but you're like, if we're really going after the Xbox model, it is partnering with those now strong third party relationships.
Exactly. You bolster it, you make it stronger.
Yeah, like, play it over here. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if you could get through Mario Rabbids in a weekend. I think
I don't think you can.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Because maybe
But the
you
thing
can.
is, like, and Ubisoft is the type of publisher that, like, their games are all over games with gold and PlayStation Plus and things like that, and it's all over Game Pass and whatever. And they have a good model where they make a compelling case to buy the DLC.
Yes.
So that's the thing. That's why I feel like it would almost even be better as a, like, give the game for free at this point, because it's discounted so heavily, and then have people buy the DLC a little bit as well. Bobby, the game that doesn't really need much more eyes on it, but I think could be really good for a free weekend is, I don't know what you're shaking your head. I'm interested. I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say. I don't think. I'm interested in what you're... I'm interested.
Don't do this to
oh,
me,
no,
man.
no. We're not done yet. We still got to go.
Okay,
it's not going to be... No. You gave me a good idea for later. Thank you. I want Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. I want to have... I think that would be an interesting... You could even have a little bit of fun with it, too, of, like, which one are you going to choose, this one or the other one. I think that would... I don't even know how you would do it, but you could have...
And that does have online.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, so...
Because you could battle people.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty endless, really.
Yeah.
And so that would be... I think the way that I justify it in my mind is, like, just continue to hype up the next Pokemon game. So you give people, like, another chance to, like, jump back in and train your Pokemon and go get it, and then maybe buy that game and the next Pokemon game. So you're just, like, you just have this huge influx of cash. There's, like, there's a lot of different strategies that you can do with these free weekends to just ramp up the hype fire for other games. So I didn't really think of that until just now. It sort of, like, lines in with Pokemon, but I don't know if there's another game, like, maybe there's a Breath of the Wild free weekend before Link's Awakening.
Well, I was thinking, honestly, what I was thinking was Pokemon Tournament.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, man.
You know, like, you could couple it,
one.
you know, like, because it's one of these games that, like, really, really good game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good fighting game. But the problem is like, it's a pricey game. The DLC is a little pricey, all that stuff. But, like, I think if you let people play it and not in the demo fashion limits what you can do.
Big time.
If you let people play it and go in and deep, and it's a lot of fun, man.
I like that a lot, actually, because people know what to expect with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
But I don't think people really know, like, if you played it, you get it. But, like, you don't really get what Pokemon Tournament is about. I really like that, Bobby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna replace that one. I think that's a good mix for sure.
Okay.
You got anything else, sir?
No, I don't have anything else.
Last one is selfish for me. I want Marvel Ultimate Alliance free for a weekend. I just want to play it, man. I
still haven't even played that game yet. I bought it,
God.
and
Joey Splats is going. You see, Bobby.
know,
He was warning about that. Sometimes he can be a wise young man.
Don't give him any credit, please.
You know, he needs to pick me up every once in a while. He's a good boy.
He's sitting there laughing right now. And
I know.
I told you big dummy.
I told you.
He asked me too. He said to me one day, I was talking about something that I was loving. He goes, "Oh, how much have you played Marvel Alliance 3?" And I'm like, I haven't.
Dude, I haven't even played the demo of Dragon Quest Builders 2. Like,
dude, there's so much
I was gonna buy
stuff
it.
right now.
I was gonna buy it, man. Yeah.
Oh,
did I tell you I bought a second set of vouchers?
Did you really?
I bought a second set of vouchers.
I haven't even bought one set.
What? Why not, man? Oh, you got to.
Because I've kind of gotten under the mindset I'm just going to go physical.
Well, it's all gone. It's done now. But I was reminded that the deadline was coming up, so I used the first one on Mario Maker 2, the second one on Fire Emblem. I definitely needed one for Animal Crossing because Chelsea and I are both going to need Animal Crossing. So at this point, I've got Link's Awakening will be physical. I'm not sure what else, man. I don't know. Might be a Pokemon,
I have the special edition Link's Awakening coming from the
UK. You're such a dork. Do you really? Oh, did you arrange something with Toby?
Yeah, man.
Oh, good
Toby
for
bought
you.
it for me. Toby bought it for me. Well, he bought it. Yeah,
he's a good man.
I gave him the money back, but he got,
That's very nice. That sounds
expensive.
expensive.
He was like, it was like $70.
But even the shipping and everything, like, it's not.
Well, he's got to ship it, but still, it's. Hey, man, you know what? It comes with that beautiful Game Boy. I think it's a steel book.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's perfect. It's perfect.
That's really cool, man.
So,
Bobby, I'm feeling good about this episode. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I like it. I think it worked out well. I think it's better because we're awake and we're not like right now. I'm dying and I'm like, let's end this show.
Mm-hmm.
But we have another topic we're going to talk about.
Oh,
if you're
right.
a Patreon exclusive member, for as little as $1 per month, you can get this content. And this is this topic is coming from Todd Oxtra, and he's saying, if we ran Nintendo, what would be the killer game for voice chat? And he put some silliness in here, but he says, would it be a remastered Triforce Heroes, Animal Crossing Town Hall, board meetings, or a Mario Kart 8 pit crew feature in Mario Kart 9 that uses a team that would support like a pit crew, and you do a career mode type thing. So that's a topic we're going to tackle right now when we go off the air. If you're a Patreon member, just keep listening, and you'll pick it up in a second here. So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. Be sure to check out everything that Mr. Sean Capri is doing over there on the Twitters. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. We also, I think, are you ready to make an announcement for anything streaming wise or no?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Which we talked about at the beginning of the show, before we were on the air.
I don't even know
about where you're going to be streaming at.
Oh, I'm not. Do you want to? Man, I thought we were going to talk about that a little bit. About are we moving over to Mixer or not? I don't know, man.
I'm moving to Mixer.
You're moving to Mixer.
Yeah, I'm moving to Mixer.
Man, we buried the lead on this one. This happening? Whatever. Well, you can get your Nintendo Guru URL over there.
I have it. It's not the _Nintendo_Guru.
Come on, really?
It's just Nintendo Guru. I have it.
Well, I'm on Mixer as well. I just sort of restreamed to there, but a dedicated move could be interesting.
Yeah, I only want to stream in one place, and I feel like that's the place I want to do it.
That's
so
cool.
I might actually try it today.
That's cool, man. All right, sweet.
We'll see.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know.
I actually make money on Twitch, so we'll see.
Whatever. So
yeah,
it's not always about the money, Sean.
I know that. Trust me, dude. I know it's very tempting over there. It's excellent. It's fast and light. You get that instant chat and everything. It's really nice. I think. Oh God, a lot of good stuff about Mixer. But we're ending the show.
You can follow me Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Eat your porridge and cookies and biscuits and play some video games. And my name is Toby. I'm getting better at the Toby impression.
He left a comment on the lady's video, tell you not to try to take his place or something.
Yeah, well, I
don't
even have to try. No, I didn't see it.
Ooh, wow.
Your place has been taken.